Welcome to this week's G.I. Joe toy review. This is the second week of June. So, by now, the Virginia restricted COVID state of emergency order is about to be released, or have been released by the posting of this video. So hopefully we're quieting down the COVID pandemic. But this is not a COVID coronavirus review. This is a G.I. Joe review. So this week's review will be on Windmill and the G.I. Joe helicopter pilot. But before we get on to our review of Windmill, let's take a look at our shoutouts of the week. First, back to the media at 41 South Loudon Street here in lovely Winchester, Virginia. Ooh, up close view. And their website is www.backtothemedia@gmail.com, and their email address is backtothemedia@gmail.com. You can find them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and you can go there to find all your video game needs, as you can tell by the picture here. You got all kinds of video games: Xboxes, PlayStations, Atari, Nintendo 64, the Wii. They got everything there. So go ahead and check them out. Plus they got Funko Pops and other collectibles, as well as movies and records and the like. And while you're in the neighborhood, scoot up to Time Traveler Toys and Collectibles at 115 South Loudon Street in Winchester, Virginia, just a couple blocks down on the other side of the splash pad. You can find them on Facebook, and their email address is timetravelertoys@gmail.com. And when you go in and see Charles, tell him I sent you. And you can get comic books, toys ranging from Thundercats, He-Man, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and so on and so forth, as well as other collectibles. So let's get on to our review of the week, Windmill. And I will be discussing certain little thoughts about him from the vintage and the modern line. But let's start with his file card, which states, which says helicopter pilot, codename Windmill, and it's got the nice picture of Windmill right there, which actually looks very CGI animated, but it's still cool. Which is also the look on the front of the package, as you see a part of the picture right there, and the tear off where I tore the bubble off. But his file name is Roth Edward J, which is actually the name of a real person, but I'm not sure of who he is exactly off the top of my head. I know the name, but check out HCC788's video on Windmill and the Skystorm X-Wing chopper, to find out, because ACC did better research than I did. But his primary military specialty is attack helicopter pilot. His secondary military specialty is combat search and rescue, CSAR. Birthplace is Allentown, Pennsylvania, and his grade is a 03. Windmill was a flight instructor at the Army Warrant Officer Cadet School in Fort Rucker, and later flew experimental helicopter prototypes at the same facility for the Army Aviation Department. Soon after, he joined the G.I. Joe team and brought the experimental Skystorm crosswing helicopter, which I mentioned earlier, but this file card calls it the crosswing chopper, but the vintage release called it the X-wing chopper, and is with him to pound the forces of Cobra. Now his main objective isn't offensive. It's searching for his teammates in dangerous combat zones. As a highly skilled aviator, he is qualified to use a multi-turbine helipack for rescue operations. Windmill is in charge of reconnaissance, security, aeromedical evacuation, and other aspects of both offensive and defensive combat military support operations. His mission objectives include locating, communicating with, and recovering downed or isolated military personnel. This denies enemies a potential source of intelligence and prevents the exploitation of captured combatants through propaganda programs. He also routinely engages in non-combat evacuation operations from designated war zones. And the quote at the bottom, I believe it's from Windmill, and it states, helicopters don't have ejection seats. If you make a mistake, you ride down with it. And with that quote, I can just state, if you ever see me in a helicopter or going toward a helicopter, try to talk me out of it, because I don't plan to make a mistake in a helicopter and go down with the helicopter. I kind of value my life. But let's take a look at his accessories, starting with his figure stand. Upraised G.I. Joe logo, Windmill on the front, which I've stated I like it done this way with just the name on the front. The whole code name at the end of whatever the code name is kind of sucks, but that's my opinion. He also comes with this little mini revolver, which doesn't have a lot of details on the barrel on either side, but it's still a nice looking barrel, nice looking gun, nice looking little pistol, pretty cool. And here's his, what was called in the file card, the mini turbine helipack, which, as you can see, there's the pay right there, stick right on his back, with the turbine engine right there. This, when you get this figure, is the FSS subscription service figure. For those who do have it, you know how it is. It comes in like 1, 2, 3, 5 different pieces. The arm handlebars or handle controls are a separate piece. The turbine red piece is a certain piece, and the white propeller page, this is a 2 separate piece set. It's very easy to put together. My grandkids could actually build this thing. That's how easy it is to put together. But it's very nice detail on the back, as you can see. Very nicely done. And so are the grips, the handles. That's nicely done also. Nice looking helipack. And then you've got Windmill himself. So let's take a look at this figure. As you can tell, he's got the red line going across his black helmet, which is not, the helmet's not removable, with the 2 little things right there. It kind of reminiscently looks like the Battle Force 2000 Dodger head, who I haven't gotten to review yet, but I will in time. Trust me, in time I'll get to review Dodger. Bulletproof also has a very similar helmet. He's got his red flight jacket with a yellow, looks like a yellow sash right going across, or a cable or whatever it's supposed to be. Molded in knife on the right side, pistol on the left. And underneath that, he's wearing a blue jumpsuit with a black belt that goes all the way around with a silver buckle. And no, it's not a martial arts black belt. And the blue continues all the way down with silver stripes, and there's a hole right there on his leg. I'm not sure what that's for. Silver stripe on the way down with a pouch right there on his leg. I have no idea what that is. So if y'all know what that's supposed to be, let me know. Put it in the comments below. And then he's got his black boots. Let's take a look at the articulation of Mr. Windmill. His head does rotate 360, but it's kind of hard with the jacket, so I ain't going to do the full demonstration of that. His arm does lift to about right there, rotates the full 360. He does bend at the elbow, rotate at the elbow, as well as rotate at the wrist. He does have his ab crunch feature, which all modern era figures got, and I'm glad the web gear doesn't, his jacket web gear doesn't really affect it. He's got typical T-hook at the legs, which separate to about there. You lift the leg about so high, as well as the double knee joint, as well as the rocker at the ankle, as well as the swivel at the ankle. So let's take a look at Windmill all set up and all geared up. And here's Windmill all geared up. I got his revolver right there due to the fact I got both hands on the grips for the helipack. Unfortunately, he can't hold he has no other place to store the pistol. So if you want him to hold the helipack handle by the handles, you know, he really can't carry his gun. Which is a very cool looking set. But let me show you what he looks like with his pistol in his hand. And here he is with his pistol in his hand. As you can see, he can't hold the revolver and the helipack handlebar right there like that. Windmill makes his first comic book appearance in issue number 72 of the old Marvel comic run, but he wasn't flying the Skystorm. He was actually in the Desert Fox with both Wildcard and Skidmark. Yes, that was a G.I. Joe G.I. Joe character's code name, Skidmark. Luckily, they changed his name to Trademark in the G.I. Joe Modern Airline. You know, so they changed his name. More on Trademark later, because I'll be doing him later on this year. And I would like to state that if you watch HCC788's video, sorry about that. You know, if you watch HCC788's video, this figure looks quite different from the vintage version. The vintage version was quite hideous with the bright orange jacket and a lime green jumpsuit. But this figure does make an improvement. You know, the color scheme is a lot better. I mean, it's still an ugly ass figure, but you know, it's still pretty decent color scheme. Better accessories, because he just came with the pistol in the vintage version, and this he gets a helipack, and which is actually pretty cool. I love the helipack. But my opinions on it, you know, as I can say, it is an ugly ass figure, you know, but he does have a good backstory with his file card of being a evacuation guy and a tech helicopter pilot. It's pretty cool that he gets to fly experimental helicopters, which is pretty tight. You know, but in my opinion, you know, this is a bottom tier figure due to the fact of, you know, he still looks kind of mundane, but he's, you know, I still like him. You know, I had a lot of play time with this vintage figure, and but if you want to see the vintage version of this, go check out Hoodie Cobra Commander 788's channel to see the vintage version of this with the Skystorm X-Wing chopper, which was in his ugly ass figures month from back in about 2 years ago, I believe. And check out that review. And there's probably a couple modern era figure reviews out there also of Windmill, so you may want to check them out. I've been looking for Foreign BX257, but I don't see this exact review on his channel. Maybe he'll get to it. Hopefully he does. So Kevin, if you're watching, go ahead, post that video. I want to see it. So this has been Windmill this week. Tune in next week as we review the Ninja Viper with a variant on the claw, the Ninja Claw. So check out Ninja Viper. But this has been Windmill. You know, thanks for being here. And as always, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. See y'all in the next one. Have a good summer. God bless y'all. I love y'all. See y'all in the next one. Peace.